Hey, welcome to Film Turbo. Today I will briefly retell you the 2016 movie Teenage Cocktail. Let's go. A simple girl, Annie, moved to a new school, and on the same day she began to have problems. Conflicts with classmates. In fact, the director did not like it, and he called her to his office to resolve the issue that worries him. The girl even runs away due to the fact that her classmates come up to her. Leaving the school, she saw how the girl danced very talentedly and beautifully. Annie stared at her and she saw her. And this is Annie's mother. She is trying to help her and solve all the problems that worry the girl, but Annie is an independent girl and does not want to get into her business. Annie is at school and she's in a computer science lesson. Everything is quiet, nothing is happening, and suddenly that very beautifully dancing girl sits down next to her. Her name is Jules and they immediately start to get along, communicate well. The girl, after these conversations, considers the girl interesting and invites her to hang out together. Annie agrees, of course, as she lacks new friends. Jules is already teaching her how to dance and wants Annie to learn to do her job very quickly and beautifully. Together, they have a wonderful and fun time. But after training, Jules decides to smoke and the girl also agrees. After school, friends drive by to pick up the dancer. They consider themselves tough guys, but Annie does not want to, and besides, she is a shy girl. Well, now a completely different scene, an ordinary family in a small house. Father, son, and wife. Ask, what is it for? I will explain to you very soon. Frank is a drunk but still loves his son and takes care of him. And here is Annie with Jules. They spend time together and drink a cocktail in a cafe. The girl says that she is tired of living in this small town and dreams of moving to New York. She was ready to do everything for this. And Annie has no special goals. She is a simple girl. Jules gives her an example that everyone here works until the end of their days, even those who graduated from school with excellent marks. But she does not want this and wants to radically change her life. Annie begins to imitate that girl. She does bad things and behaves like a mad girl. The girl also dreams of moving to New York with her. They spend a lot of time together. A couple of friends found something in each other. Annie even visited Jules at home, and we now find out the history of her family and what happened to her in general. It turns out that her mother left her when she was 4 years old. Jules grew up with her father. But Annie has the opposite. She has a good big family. Father, younger brother, mother. One day, the girl decides to visit a friend, and she fills her with a tattoo. The couple bond and become best friends, and Jules asks her if you're a lesbian, but Annie says no, and they both turn out to be bisexual, although they are attracted to each other. They start kissing, supposedly for fun, and suddenly the mother comes into the room. They slept and they are embarrassed, but the mother does not say anything. One day, Annie is sitting with her family and they are talking. Suddenly, Jules writes to the girl and invites her to a party. She asks permission from her parents. They agree, but they want Jules to come to them and they hang out here. But her father begins to tell her mother that it's okay, let her go, the girl is already growing up, and they let her have fun. Annie puts on all her makeup, dresses beautifully, and is waiting for Jules, but her friend arrives. And the father comes up, asks Annie to be careful and not be around bad people. And now there are a lot of people at the party. Everything is cool. Absolutely everyone is having fun, a lot of alcohol, even taking illegal substances. Jules hugs all the time with her boyfriend and so on. And after seeing this, Annie decides that she also wants to be with some guy and starts kissing a friend, Jules. A girl kisses a guy in full and suddenly her friend distracts her. Everything is going great and then suddenly they decide to go play spin the bottle. They start doing adult things, kissing and even making love. And now Annie stays with Jules, her girlfriend's drunk. The girl admits that she earns money on the site for adults, says that you don't even have to undress there. Everything is absolutely easy. You just put on a mask and the men throw money at you. They start working, money is dripping to them, and girlfriends decide to make love. Annie returns home. She is a smell after the party and her mother does not lag behind her, asking her to wash the dishes. The girl is shocked. Money appears every second, and they don't even need to do anything. They get pleasure and money. Annie is already starting to work on this site herself, but the money is not coming yet and she is learning. It takes time, says Jules. And then again, that family, Frank wakes up and it turns out he likes to sit on that site, throw money to girls. Frank found Annie and Jules. They are interested in him and the man suggests that they even meet in real life. But they don't like it and they just start to put on an adult show. And this brings them a lot of money. Girlfriends buy whatever they want. They drink, smoke, and go about their profession. Boyfriend Jules categorically does not like this and Annie's mother also has complaints. She says that she should meet less with Jules, but Annie swears and explains to her that this is her best friend. Jules, as usual, is engaged in a robot. Suddenly, she falls asleep and then her boyfriend comes to her. He sees everything and is at a loss. And the next day, when the girl comes to school, everyone starts looking at her, laughing, and even pointing fingers at her. And even Annie began to get to the bottom. The rumor about the fact that they work on this site reached everyone and the director also knows about this. The principal is going to call the parents of the students on Monday. Jules does not pay much attention to this, but Annie is very worried. The girl approaches her already ex-boyfriend and says that she didn't do anything wrong, she just earned money, but you guys will stay in the same city and be beggars. They decide to move to New York and leave everyone, but they do not have enough money for this. Jules offers the girl to just sleep with someone and get a lot of money. Annie denies and does not want to. Joel's, of course, well done for what he earns, but selling his body is somehow too much. But what do you think about this? Write in the comments. And so Frank saw their offer of making love and begins to correspond with the girls. Jules approves of everything and she likes such things. She begins to persuade Annie and says that it is normal to sleep with a man for money, and this will help them move to New York. Then the mother calls Annie to her place because the director told them everything. Mom asks her a lot of questions, but the girl does not want to answer at all and is silent. The daughter leaves and the husband begins to reassure his wife that everything is fine and she is just a teenager. You are the same at Annie's age. After that, the father enters the girl's room and hears that there are a lot of notifications. He comes in to see what it is and sees his daughter's breasts in instant messengers. Her classmates throw them and laugh at her. The daughter enters the room and does not understand what her father is doing, but the father simply leaves without saying anything. There comes a scene where Jules makes Annie go to that man and do work, and the girl agrees from the 10th request. Girlfriends come to the door and Frank opens it. He is all dressed and handsome, ready for a juicy evening. The man rented a house even for them and gave them drinks to relax, cooked them a meal, and chatted with the girls. Annie asked him if he had a wife, but Frank just didn't answer it. Everything is going great, nothing adult is happening, and suddenly Jules herself decides to hasten the event and do their work already. The girl offers to go to the jacuzzi. She herself compliments him and Jules begins to work with his hands. But she demands $5,000 from a man to move to New York. Frank is shocked by such an amount and does not want to give so much. The girls are almost forcing him to give them this money. They say that it will be a cool night and they will work very well. And Frank unfortunately agrees. Jules starts acting too bad. She takes a picture of the man with Annie to blackmail him. I think that this is a bad deed and it is very bad to do such a thing. Frank, suspecting nothing, cleans the house in the morning. He's almost run out of money and decides to go home, and still he thinks about his family after that. But when he comes home, he sees that no one is there and the photo that Jules took on the computer. It turns out that the girls are blackmailing him for $10,000, and the man must give them this money so that other people do not see it either. The man starts to get very angry and just wants to destroy these girls. He lost his family because of them. And so Annie says goodbye to her parents and goes along with Jules. The girl says that this is too much, we need to stop. They start swearing in the car and the car knocks them down sharply. Frank sees them and tries to shoot them with a gun. He has nothing to lose. But Annie turns out to have a knife with her, and she manages to rebuff Frank. Frank wakes up after a few seconds and decides to fight back the girl. He strangles, and suddenly Jules comes up from behind and hits him on the head, and his friends run away. Frank tries to catch them and Annie threatens him that she will kill him. The man confesses that he has nothing to lose and asks him to kill him. The cops come and of course they grab the man and they put him in jail. A very sad end to the film. No one expected it to be like this, and I myself felt bad for Frank. Don't forget to watch our other videos and write a comment about your opinion about this film. Subscribe to the channel so as not to miss new retellings. See you soon.